It's funny. I got home last night and I was visiting a new friend of mine, and I had a really rough like morning when I was leaving her. You know, I have a hard time. I get separation anxiety and like this oncoming TikTok ban. You know, there's just been all these factors that have kind of giving me good and bad days. And so I got home and kind of TikTok went dark, and she was like really worried about me, I guess. And like I actually have like I felt actually energized by this, and I think here's the vibe is that TikTok got taken away, and what it did, when something gets taken away, we get to realize what it meant to us. And so all I was thinking, and I might, if I start crying, forgive me, but it's like, all I was thinking about last night wasn't the loss of TikTok. It was the gratitude of like how many people have come into my life because of this. You guys all think I help you. I don't, sure, I can accept that. But you guys help me. Like, you guys have made me into the person I always was. Like, I talk about this, that like, all these people love me, and all these people call me brilliant or whatever. I don't believe any of that, but it's like the people that don't are my family. And so my internal conception of self when I started doing TikTok was exactly what I came on here to work on, was to show myself in public, to sit in the vulnerability of judgment and to see what happened. And it's actually not about TikTok. TikTok was the vehicle, but you guys were the passengers, right? And you guys were the drivers of this growth. All I did was share myself. All I did was just take what was in here and just put it out here with no filter. And so it will never be replicated, but it will remain in us forever, right? And it's not gone. And so all I felt last night was gratitude. All I felt was happiness. I spent time talking to Cyber Viking, my bestie, you know, my internet bestie. I was grateful for. I mean, I've gotten friends, I've gotten clients, I've gotten lovers, I've gotten enemies, but most importantly, I've gotten self worth. Right? I knew I could help people. When I was in rehab, when I would be in healing settings, people would say, "You are so good at this. You hold space for people. You have this way with people." But I couldn't see it because my family scapegoated me, right? They gave me a version of myself that was rooted in their inability to understand their behavior, right? Like narcissistic parents I always talk about, but one thing I really don't talk about is the process of divorce with narcissistic parents, and how it creates all of this anger and all of this confusion. And then the narcissistic parents go, "Where's all this coming from?" And so it created such a distorted internal version of myself that I had to look at myself in a camera. I had to hear myself talking to know my voice. To know my face, I had to look at myself. To get rid of the complete life dysmorphia that was given to me by these broken fucking parents, I needed all of you to show me who I was. And you did it. So I don't, all I feel is grateful. That's it. And a little, nostalgic. But like, when something ends, something begins. And clinging to things as though anything is permanent only leads to suffering. And so to me, like, I'm actually really proud of myself, because what I didn't ask to be grateful. I just am grateful. I didn't choose to be grateful. I just am grateful. And that means the work I've done is working, right? And so we all need to sit there and look at ourselves and look at how we're responding to things, and just accept whatever life is throwing at us, and be willing to look at our lives with gratitude no matter what's happening.